Wow, that's strange. I got the wrong camera up there for some reason. I better see if I can find out why. There we go. Let's switch them around. There we go. All right. If you lose me, it's because my internet connection is total crap tonight. We've got bad weather, we've got rain, wind, a lot of wind. So if this shuts down, you'll know why. In case you are watching it, I'll just leave it up so people will know. My upload is just horrible. 0.07. I've never even tried to log in with it that low. I don't know if it'll stay or not. At one point, it went up to 0.22, but then it went right back down. So we'll see what happens if it'll get better or not. I think I saw somebody trying to get in. Probably Ken, but he didn't get in. I'm gonna sit here and hopefully won't lose connection, and we'll see what happens. Get some people in here, maybe. Velvet might be coming in. I'm not sure. She's got a bad connection too, I would imagine. If mine's bad, she's definitely gonna be bad. Hi, Ariana. How are you? I wondered who it was trying to log in. I thought it was Ken. My internet's like really bad, so if you lose me, just try to come back in. The upload for some reason is really, really low tonight. We got a lot of wind and rain over here. How are you doing? And how's Cadence? It's probably lagging quite a bit. I imagine it takes a while for you to get my voice because of the upload being so bad. Even typing is going slow. Yes, really sick, still recovering. A lot of serious things going on with me. My the areola, which the vein that connects to your heart, there's a growth there, about 4 millimeters. If it gets to 5.5 millimeters, they're gonna operate, and there's a chance it could actually like blow up. If it does, then they say I have about 2 minutes to live. And I've got something in my colon. I got pancreatitis. And they found something in my lungs, which we don't know what that is yet. And my esophagus has a problem. So some pretty serious stuff. Just trying to gain weight because I lost about 30 pounds, but I've gained about 5 back. So it's pretty serious stuff. Which actually kept me from being on here for, gosh, over a month. I couldn't even get out of bed hardly. But when I went to the hospital, they put me on several IVs of really strong antibiotics and stuff, and that it helped, but it took a while for it to really help a lot. Well, I hope so too, but I'm not getting any younger, that's for sure. 65 now, so, that's what happens when you get older. You start getting all these other problems. I was surprised when the doctor told me all the things that was wrong with me because my initial lab work said I was basically normal except for some high white blood cells, but then when they did a CAT scan, the CAT scan picked up all the other problems. You can tell I've lost weight. My belly's gone. I went from a 40 waist to a 30 waist, which is a lot. You and Cadence are doing good down there, huh? Or up there? Yeah, down there, yeah. And keep going with your artwork. I'm sure you inherited it from your father and me. Just keep practicing. That's the main thing. The more you practice, the better you get. Yeah, I lost some members while I wasn't on for the month either, even though I told everybody I was like really, really sick, but I still lost about 8 or 10 members, subscribers. Well, good. Just keep working on that art, keep practicing. I don't mind giving you tips on it. You know, but everybody eventually creates their own style. Tips are great to try, and sometimes they work for people, and sometimes they have to do something different to get to the same results. And drawing helps too, for sure. I don't do a lot of drawing though, because honestly, if you're painting like wet on wet, or even traditional paintings, you don't really have to draw all the time. No more than maybe draw the horizon line and just roughly put where you want the trees if you're doing a landscape. Maybe just, roughly where you want clouds and different things, but it doesn't have to be perfect, that's for sure. Are you gonna paint in oil or acrylic, watercolor? Or are you gonna try them all? I'm not real crazy about watercolor myself, but I like oil the most. But I do paint in acrylic too. But now a lot of times when I do traditional paintings, I'll do what's called a block in. I'll draw roughly where I want things and stuff, and I'll block it in. Basically, kind of paint it with somewhere close to the colors I want with acrylic, and then go over it with after it's dry, which takes not very long. Then I go over it with oil, and it seems to work a lot better. Plus, when you're using oil, you can change the colors if you want to or whatever. But at least gives you a good feel of what you want to paint, and it still gives you the option to change it. Well, the biggest thing with acrylic is you have to get an extender. It's called extender. It's a little bit expensive for a small bottle of it, but you can add a couple drops to it to make it stay wet longer. It won't dry so quick. That does help a lot. And also spray it, you know, fairly often. Just to get you a small little misting bottle and mist it, all of it, all your oil. Even your painting, you can mist it if you're going to do some blending on it. But that's the benefit of oil. Now, oil will stay wet for a long time, and you can blend it a lot easier, and you can get a lot of good effects. But I know people that paint in acrylic that are excellent. just as good as using oil. Hello, Toxic Compulsions. Welcome to the channel. Ariana and I here are talking about acrylic painting and painting in general. Whether it's oil, acrylic, watercolor. I've thought about using watercolor more, Ariana, but I just never really got into it. But acrylic I've got into a lot more since, we had the group home and teaching the clients because we did everything in acrylic then with them. So I didn't have any choice. I had to really learn a lot more about acrylic. Oh, cool. That's good. Watch them all. They all will help. Okay, send me a picture of it. Yeah, I did a fairy for Jennifer once. And well, she liked it so much that I got a drawing of it for her to paint. I think she ended up painting it. I guess I didn't give her mine, but I did do the drawing for her. Of course, don't forget. I mean, you can use just use acrylic painting paper. It's cheaper, and then you can just get some carbon paper and print out a picture you want to paint and lay it on top of it and trace it out on your paper canvas and paint it. Especially if you got something that's got a lot of detail until you get drawing more or rely on drawing less. Like trees, you don't have to draw every leaf on a tree. You just don't need to do that. That last waterfall I did, I mean, that was acrylic, but it looked like a mess until it all came together. That's the cool thing about painting, whether it's acrylic or oil. Um, until you get most of the way done and get all the finishing touches in there, sometimes it looks like a failed project, but you just keep going and it'll surprise you. Once you're all done with the detail, then all of a sudden you went from something scary to something beautiful, a lot better. Patience and practice, that's what it takes. Make sure you watch the video on like color mixing too. I got a video on color mixing. I think there's one on flesh tones and regular color mixing. There has a color wheel. That'll teach you a lot about using just the primary colors to do your paintings. Because the primary colors will mix any other color there is. Plus, it saves you a lot of money from buying all these oddball colors that are really odd. You can mix any color you want. And you might have to watch it a couple of times, but once you get the color theory down on how to mix the paint, makes a big difference. And then you kind of know what goes with each colors and stuff like that. You know, how to make different greens, different shades of green, teal. Any odd color you want. Ochre, you can make that even. You can just use the primary colors. You can even make black with just the primary colors. Experiment with the colors. It's really a lot of fun just to experiment, see what colors you get from different colors. That really teaches you a lot. And you'll find once you get used to mixing the colors, you'll mix them without even thinking about it. When I'm doing a painting traditional, I don't even think about the color mixing because I've done it so much that I automatically grab a dab of this, a dab of that, a dab of this. Then I'll adjust it however I need it to be. And it's great practice. And practice matching colors. Find a color and take your paint and match that color. Figure out how to make the color. Once you keep practicing that, the paintings become a lot better because you get more adaptive at your mixing the colors. Just like orange make orange, red and yellow. Mostly yellow with a little bit of red. But there's different shades of orange too, so try matching an orange color. Excuse me. It's like blue and blue and red will make purple. If you want to light it purple, you add a little white. Add white or white and black are that's going to be your tint and shades. So you're going to add those colors as needed. You don't always need them, but depending on whether you want them a darker color or a lighter color or whatnot. If you do portraits, make sure you study the faces really well. Look in the mirror. Look at your face. You'll see blue. You'll see crimson colors or pink, a little red, darker shadows. Those are all important. Brown, you may see brown in your shading. I call it right here, a little bit of brown flesh color. Flesh tones are not as hard to do as people think. It's very intimidating, but if you learn to mix your own colors, you'll find out it's not so hard. And if you got friends like Toxie here, that's even better. You paint together. Every artist has a different view on the same painting. Paint the same thing. You'll see they'll both look different because you both have a different view of it. Well, I used to think the same thing years ago, but I do now. But you can. You never say never. You just have to learn how to do a portrait. That's all. I'm not great at portraits. I've done quite a few, but I'm not great at it either, really. I have friends of mine that are artists that do way better than I do, but they specialized in portraits. But it's like I tell most artists, start out with landscapes. It's the still life. Excuse me. Landscapes will teach you a lot. Main thing is you want to learn your colors, tones, shades, getting a 3D look that you want, how to use your brushes, which brushes to use, which ones work the best for you, because artists are different. What works for you may not work for Ariana. What works for Ariana may not work for you. So you have to figure out which brushes work the best. I can't even tell you which. I can tell you which works for me, but that doesn't mean it'll work that is good for you. But you'll really find that you can do a full painting landscape or whatever with one brush if you really want to. The brushes just make things a bit easier. Like you can do a painting, and I've done lots of them with just a knife. Just a knife, that's it. And I've done a lot of them. And I don't mean Bob Ross's knife either. I'm talking about different artist knives. But there are some things that help everybody. Well, hello, Kimberly. Welcome to the chat. Advice on doing perspectives on a landscape. Are you talking about traditional landscape painting or wet on wet or any particular kind? One good rule of thumb with landscapes on distance, perspective is, you know, perspective is distance, really. The further back that you look at something, usually the lighter the color it's going to be. Say you're doing some mountains in the further background, there'll always be a lighter color. Say they're, a darker color, like um, maybe mix some blue and purple, a little bit of brown maybe, and something like that. Add a little white to it, get a lighter color, and then start making your mountains a lot lighter in color. As you come forward, you'd make them darker. Hey Doc, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Also, as you know, I'm sure you know that the further back it is, the smaller it's going to be. As you come forward to your perspective, things start getting larger. There's some tricks like for drawing. You put a dot up on each corner, and you can draw lines to get perspectives that way. Or if you're building, say you want to paint a house or something, they draw that perspective house. But in your mind, you can do the same thing. Just remember that you're going for that angle. Like say if you're doing a cabin or something or a house, just use that perspective in your mind going up to that corner. Waiting on the snow, huh, Doc? You can have it all. But anyway, on the perspective thing, that's the best thing I can say is, make sure you're starting lighter in the backgrounds, then come darker. Other things like the sky, and bring an arrow down from the top, from the corners. I can't do it from here because for some reason, I just can't seem to line up with my camera here. But if you come down at an angle from each side to your horizon to that certain point, just follow that angle. Whatever's coming out is going to be at that angle or that height for your trees. If it's coming down from the top down, your trees would most likely be somewhere in that same angle. But not always. Not always. Sometimes the horizon line needs to be up a lot higher for your trees. You have to kind of play with that a little bit and see where that's going to end up being. Because if your trees are way back further, they're going to be, you have a different horizon almost. Plus, it depends on the size of your mountains. Your mountains are probably going to be not quite so big. They're going to be a bit smaller and further back. But as they come forward, they're going to get bigger and darker. We got a lot of wind here today, Doc, and some rain. My connection is total crap. Upload is terrible. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys. I appreciate it if you hit that like button. That helps a lot. Well, I'm lagging quite a bit tonight. I can see that much. Wow. Kind of lost my internet for a second there or two. Is everybody still here? Who we still got here? Yeah, I'm getting a lot of wind here tonight, Doc. If you're still here, I'm only showing 2 at the moment. I don't know if I've lost Ariana or not. All right, take care, Doc. I'm here still. I just got back because I lost connection, but I'm still here. Have a good one, buddy. Ariana and Toxie, are you still here? And Kimberly? Wow, I'm still lagging bad. We probably lost, I guess we lost Doc, and I'm not sure if Kimberly's here or not still. Whew, am I lagging terrible? I'm not sure if you guys can hear me or not, but it looks like we're going to lose connection. If we do, I'll try to get on again tomorrow. Hopefully, y'all can come back tomorrow. take care, and I appreciate you coming for sure. Hope we see you more. It's definitely giving me a lot of problems tonight with the internet. My download speed is not too bad. It's the upload speed that's having a problem. Yeah, it's just a .04 upload. It's horrible. I'm not sure if you guys are hearing me at all. Yeah, I've got a lot. Thank you, Fire Fist. I appreciate that. Make sure you all subscribe. I appreciate it. My internet is like super bad tonight because of some super bad weather we're having. But I'll be doing a live again tomorrow night. I appreciate everybody comes back. And if you have some questions, you can ask them then. And hopefully we'll be have a lot better connection. So I'll probably end up having to shut it down because of the connection being so bad. My upload is horrible. I was hoping it would get better. Usually this time of night it gets a lot better. But for some reason tonight it's not. If these are all your friends here, the new people I'm seeing, Ariana, thank you for bringing them on. I appreciate it. But it does look like we'll have to shut it down by the looks. I hate to do that, but I don't have much choice. Because I've got like no upload. Well, I'm super happy to see some new people on here. So if you can all hear me, thank you for coming. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share it with your friends. And